Hey, welcome to my channel, Revision, a different way of looking at revision. When you call it revising and revising your past, it kind of sounds like a chore, something that you have to get right. You have to revise in the right way, otherwise it won't happen. What is my take on Neville Goddard's revision? I would look at it slightly differently, and I look at it like you are creating a new memory. It's not the one that you experienced, but it is a new memory. So you create a new memory. So you go back to the point that you don't like, the thing that happened that you don't like, and what would you have liked to have happened? What would have been more beneficial to you, or what would have been more neutral, or whatever? So what happens is you do this enough times. You don't want to get obsessed with it. Do it for 2 weeks, or do it for any longer than that, maybe a couple of times a day for 2 weeks. And you are creating something new. So you are in effect changing your past as far as your subconscious is concerned. So if you change your past and that thing happened differently, then your future will be different, your present will be different, and your future will be different. But you have to do it lightheartedly, as in, don't do it thinking, when am I going to see results from this? You just do it for doing its sake. And that is with most of this stuff. If you just do it for the sake of doing it, it's really, really effective. There is a girl online, and I don't know who it was, and it was just a random video that I came across about 2 years ago, about a year ago, I can't really remember, because I've always said revision is purely for the subconscious, and it doesn't really change the past as such, other people's experiences of it. And she completely blew that out of the water, because she said that she had revised something with a friend, and something really major had happened, and then after she'd done it, the friend grew, and nobody remembered the original version. It just hadn't happened for them. And I don't have any reason to disbelieve her whatsoever, because she was just amazed by the thing herself. So what are you doing here? I mean, again, you don't want to be obsessed with changing the past, because that isn't really what this is about, is it? So when I do it, if I'm doing it, I haven't done it for a long, long time, but I have done it. I have done it. And for me, it's just, I'm going to create another memory. I'm just going to create a memory. I'm going to tell my subconscious that this is what happened. Okay, my rational brain knows that's not what I experienced, but why not create another memory? And I'm going to plant it there. Where that happened, I'm going to plant this there. And I've just done it, and I haven't even done it for 2 weeks actually. I've only ever done it for about a week or so, because I just forget about stuff. I just get I guess I get bored with it, and I just stop doing it. But it has been effective on 2 occasions. But it's not something I immediately go to do, but maybe I would if it was something really traumatic. Possibly, I don't know. It is just not a big part of my life or anything, and I do forget about it. And sometimes I'll see something on YouTube and it will remind me of it. And actually, I'm talking about this because I am reading, as you know, that I recommended it, The Alternate Universes of Self by Frederick E Dodson. I remembered. I don't know why I have a massive mental block with the book and with the author's name, and I don't know why, because I love it. It's like the best book I've ever read. It's really weird, but still I do. And he talks about that there, creating a new past to create a new future, and then creating a new future to create a new past. And he kind of mixes it up, talking about it in various different ways. And it just reminded me of it. And I thought, yeah, I very rarely think about that now, but come on, let's go on and talk about it and say what I think that that's doing. And again, I like to talk about different ways of thinking about things. Don't call it revision. You're not revising your past, you're just planting another memory for your subconscious to run with. And who knows whether you're actually changing it for other people. I mean, I've always said, no, that's not the case, but what do I know? You know, if I see somebody, if somebody tells me different, then I've got no reason to disbelieve that. And I'm completely open-minded. I don't think I know everything. So again, who knows? But why not do that? If something has happened, if you want to manifest something, and you constantly go back to that old memory, which you would call a circumstance, why not change it? Why not put something different in there? Imagine the old one and you're just planting something over the top of it. But don't do it for a result. It's like everything with this. I know that sounds really contradictory, but I want to change something, so why would I not do it for a result? Take results out of the equation, take time out of the equation, do it because you're practicing it. You're practicing doing something new, and maybe start with something a little bit smaller with this and give that a go and just see how it feels. How did that feel? Is that something that I feel would have been possible to have happened? If you do something really out of the realms of what you think a person would ever behave like, or anything could ever happen for you, there will be a massive gap between what you want and what you're kind of planting in there. what is reality now, sorry, and what you're planting in there. So don't do that. Look at it realistically. What could realistically have happened at that point? If you had thought about things differently, if you had made a different decision, what would have happened? What could have happened? And that's what you're looking at, really. So that gap is not huge. And your subconscious will really take that then. It will take what you feel is possible, really will. Soak it up, do with it what it does. So I hope this was useful. You know, all of this stuff, just take it. Don't take me as being right or anybody else as being right. It's just an opinion. We're only working from our own experience. Use your intuition and go with what you really feel is right. Don't think, if you feel something and then somebody else tells you something different, don't think that they're right and you're wrong. I have this habit, and I've really got out of this now, of thinking Jeremy is right about everything because he's really smart, and he'll say something and there'll be like a quiz on or something, and there'll be a question and I'll answer it and I'll think that was right, and then he'll go, oh, no, it's blah, blah, blah. He'll say what it is, and I'll just immediately think that he's right, or I used to immediately think he's right and I'm wrong, and then I'm proved right. And one day I just said, I'm going to stop. Why do I think you're right all the time and I'm wrong? You know, you come out with something, so that immediately wipes out what I think and you're right, because you're not. It really made me realise, not just with things, you know, quizzes and questions, just in general, where I had this thing where I just always thought that not his opinion was more valuable. No, that if he had a take on something different than mine, I would end up coming round to his way, thinking, probably on a subconscious level, because I think he's smarter than me, that I would come round to that and think that he was right. But actually, I've got to really have the courage of my convictions and know sometimes he's right and sometimes I'm right. Okay, I hope this was useful.